Welcome to the very first episode of the Convos Podcast, the podcast where I talk with videographers, photographers and content creators about their career journeys, lessons and behind the scenes stories that don't always get seen. And today I'm very, very pleased to say that I'm joined by an integral person in YouTuber Calfreezy's videos. Some of you might know him as GFilm. It's Harry Griffiths. How are you doing?
Hello. I'm good, thank you. I'm good. Back from a busy day and ready to spill some gossip, I guess.
Perfect. So we'll just start off, just in case, obviously, if people don't know who you are. Do you mind just giving yourself a brief introduction about what field of work you're in and just a brief little rundown of your career background, really?
Yeah, sure. So I work as head of content for Calfreezy, who is now a food YouTuber. We are now on the food YouTube hype. And I basically work with Cal to completely run his main channel. So with everything from start to finish, pre-production to post-production, I work with him and a team to create the best food videos possible, really. That's what we're trying to do at the moment. And I've been doing that for 4 years now. And yeah, it's a pretty exciting job. I'm obviously very lucky to be in that position, but it doesn't really feel like a job, to be honest. It just feels like a hobby. Yeah.
Oh, love that. So we'll get a bit more information about that a bit later on, a bit more background information and stuff. But just if you take it back to the very beginning, why did you want to go into video production? Was that always the ambition when you were younger?
It wasn't, I obviously watched all these boys growing up. But I actually was going to go and study sports science at uni. But I used to create YouTube videos in my own time. Just like I used to go and explore, like Joe Welly used to do, explore abandoned places.
Yeah. OG content.
Exactly. Yeah. We actually used to go to the same places Joe used to go to. And I used to just film and edit my own little videos like that. And then my now ex-girlfriend's mum said, "You ever thought about doing a degree in this or like doing a career in this?" And I hadn't really thought about it, but I thought I enjoy doing it. What's the harm in it, right? So I applied at my uni, and because of the stuff I had done on YouTube, and I was also doing like semi-basic videography at that point as well for like clubs and that. I got an unconditional, and from then on it went into film production, but I didn't really enjoy film production. I always enjoyed like the commercial YouTubey side. And then, I landed at the end of uni, was lucky enough to land my job with Cal. And then from there on, it's just spiraled pretty much. Yeah.
How on earth does a job like that come about?
Yeah,
Just
it's a weird one for sure.
Seems a bit wild going straight from uni to working for something like that. It's not the traditional path, to say the least, is it?
No, for sure. And it was quite a shock for like the people in my life as well, because they were all expecting me to, one, not have a job for ages, and two, not like for it to be like that quick. So I was Sam Hilton, who was Cal's old cameraman and editor. He was leaving to go and do freelance. So they put the job out on Twitter, and I was still at uni at the time, working on my final FMP project. And I saw it, and my mate sent it to me when I was at an event, and he was like, "You should apply to this." And I was thinking, like, loads of people are going to apply to this. Like, there's no real point, right? But I did apply in the end, and I went to the back of the club I was filming at, quickly wrote out a really quick cover letter. Took me like a couple of minutes, whacked it onto my CV on my phone, and just sent it off in a nice email. Didn't have AI or anything back then to write the email, so it was all from the heart. And just sent it off, and then heard back a few days later that they wanted me to do a practice edit. Did the practice edit. Wasn't a good practice edit. It was a very bad practice edit. It was actually really bad. There was probably a lot better than me. I don't actually know why they picked me, to be honest. I don't know what it was. I think it was more just like got it back to them quick. And then went for an in-person interview. And I think I just went in with like a confident but not cocky attitude, and got it. But I was as shocked as everyone I ever say. I didn't think I was ever going to get it, no, just because I thought I'd cocked it up, but clearly not. And then now we're here.
You'll have to ask Cal what was the reasoning behind picking you.
Oh, I have asked him before. I have. It was. I'll have a think and come back to you about that one. But I have asked him. I need to like find it in there.
What is it like working with somebody who is, well, I guess, for want of a better term, is a British YouTube icon?
Well,
I think I'd say.
I don't. Let's not flatter him too much. Yeah, it's obviously. I think the whole like who they are wears off fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Like these days, he is just Cal, and if anything, I prefer not to see him because we find each other annoying. But like, he's a good laugh. He's a great boss. Treats people fairly. And he gives people great opportunities. He's given me some great opportunities over the years and let me evolve into who I am in terms of my career today, which I'm always thankful for. But he's a great guy. He's very different to how people see him on camera. A lot of people find him annoying on camera and videos and that, but that's just like his like character he's created, right? Whereas off camera, he's a chill, nice, like relaxed guy to the point, and a fair guy, yeah.
So that carry over to like your workload and stuff as well. Then, like you said, he's a really chill guy, but obviously there's the pressures that come with your role as head of content with him. How does that like? What's the balance there in terms of? Are you able to give? Does he give you a lot of free reign?
Yeah, so I have a lot of free reign in terms of like creative freedom. So we have an editor. We've actually just hired a new editor. We have an editor who I work with called Matt, who we pretty much. Actually, I'll start from the beginning. So like pre-production wise, me and Cal will like figure out ideas that we like, and then I'll go away and plan that idea, like book it in, give some ideas for it, and he'll just give it like the go ahead. And then he's pretty good at on camera, just like I'll give him like the basic plan, but he kind of just like free roams on like has free reign in terms of he has free reign in terms of like on like what he's saying to the camera. I kind of just let him get on with it.
Yeah.
And then in the edit, he kind of just lets us get on with it. Just lets us get on with it. And then so there is a lot of creative freedom. Obviously there's a lot of days where it's very stressful. There's a lot of work that needs to be done and like long days, but then you can like there's other days where it's super chill, like where, for example, the other day we went and played football at the Emirates, and like just like days like that, it evens out, and it's a nice like work-life balance generally. Yeah.
Just casually thrown in, you played a game of football at the Emirates. I like it.
Well, I'm a West Ham fan, so I wanted to get a goal, to be fair, to say I scored at the Emirates as a West Ham fan, but I actually had a terrible performance. It was really bad.
No, that's a nice perk to have with the role though as well, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it goes back to me saying he treats you fair, like he gives you a lot of opportunities like that, which is stuff that you just wouldn't be able to do if you were like in a corporate job or like agency or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Do you feel like, obviously now you said he's gone into more of the food content scene. That's obviously an area that's quite popular these days with obviously TikTok and stuff coming up, and obviously the likes of Top Jaw as well, which they've been going for 10 years now.
They're great, they're really good.
They're like the top of food creation, I'd say. I'm sure Cal would like to say he's pushing them now. But do you think YouTube now is more about hitting targets, or do you think it's still about just making content that people enjoy watching and enjoy making, most importantly as well?
I think we have targets, and there's targets we want to hit, but generally Cal, like at the end of the day, a YouTube channel's a business, right? It's got to pay people's wages, it's got to pay Cal's wage, and it's got to they've got to fund themselves. So that's always in the back of your head, and that's always the goal is always to like improve your views, improve your get the videos. You want to grow the channel, make the videos better. But Cal does just want to create good content at the end of the day. He just wants to put out videos that he likes and he's happy with. And if we're working on videos that he's not happy with, we'll change the theme of the videos, we'll change the concept. Like that's why he always says he evolves every like year or so. We've gone through like 4, 5 phases over the past like 5, 6 years. Um, and obviously food is that one at the moment, and he really enjoys it. So I think the main point is always stuff that he enjoys. He wants to do stuff that he enjoys and puts out content that he enjoys. But obviously in the back of your head, you've always got targets, which you have to hit. But yeah.
So you'd say it's all about finding that perfect balance then, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's finding that balance. And I think that it kind of automatically works itself out. Generally, if you're putting out content you're happy with and you're proud of, the results will show. Whereas if you're putting stuff out that is not like stuff that you really like, you've not put the heart into, then it's not going to perform well, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, you have a few anomalies, but yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So, oh, you've gone the food series. Obviously, you've gone to America a lot as well.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you've got some stories that stand out for the better or for worse. You take your pick. But is there any that have stuck with you for any particular reasons whilst you've been working
in America, or just anywhere?
In general, throughout your job.
Oh yeah. Well, in terms of like ones that are like just like fun moments, or just like
we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
Let's go nice lighthearted.
Yeah, we can start lighthearted and then we can go a bit deeper.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, like I mean, in Sweden we stayed in like a mirror cube. It was like a hotel, like a Airbnb basically, but it has mirrors all around it, so you can't actually see it when you walk up to it. And me and Cal top to toed there in no shower as well, so we were it was actually a really bad Airbnb, but it was a cool experience. We ate raw reindeer for dinner and then went out with a bunch of like a wolf pack. And this guy, I can't remember his name, but he cooked us like wild berries in the middle of the like Swedish snowland, like it's just like snow everywhere. Basically, you're in the middle of nowhere. That was a very fun experience. We got extremely drunk in Tokyo and were partying with a load of locals till about 4 a.m. and had no idea what was going on really, because we couldn't really communicate with them that well. But I think one of them recognized Cal and that was it. Obviously, people always know me for the person that drunk piss in Australia. That was quite an interesting one
until you brought it up.
Yeah,
Nice.
I mean, most people have, to be fair, which is nice. I don't know why I just brought it up, to be honest. Australia, yeah, I remember me, Harry. Oh, Cal pulled his thigh on a race we did in Port Macquarie, which was 2 or 3 days before the charity match. So he played the whole charity match with an injured thigh, just because he tried to race Harry and I to like win a burger or something in Australia. Yeah, there's some. I can't pick any like else off the top of my head, but it's just like it's just like always like just crazy moments normally that involve alcohol. Khao San in Thailand. It's like I don't know. You ever heard of Khao San Road?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went down Khao San and just, I think Khao was getting groped by like a lady boy really for the most of the night, like coming up and like stroking his head and that. Trying to feed us shots and that. I still think to this day that I got spiked because I don't remember half the night and I woke up on my bed, still fully dressed. But Cal seems to think we just drank too much alcohol. But yeah, just weird. They always involve alcohol now I'm thinking about it. It's always just after drinking too much, yeah.
No, but it's nice that you've got that relationship with the people you work with though, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It's very much like there is a balance. Like, I think it's a case of when we're working, it goes into like, right, work mode.
Yeah.
Let's get this done. But then after work, it's like when we're like out in these countries and that, it's just like we can just go and enjoy ourselves. And I think we're both comfortable enough with each other these days. We know how each other work to just like, we can do that. I think that's the main thing as well. It's like, I think that's the main thing that rolls around, like, because YouTube's such a small industry, you've got to get along with the people you work with. And it's the same with like me and Matt, our editor. Like, you need to have them sort of relationships. Otherwise, the content you put out is just going to be like, just, yeah, not there, not it. So yeah,
Yeah, just got to find that switch and turn it at the right moments, I guess, haven't you?
exactly. Yeah, for sure.
You mentioned a bit earlier on about the YouTube being a business,
Yes.
like Calfreezy with Chip as well. Obviously, they've got the Fellas Studios. So,
Yeah.
do you find it so surreal how? Oh, I remember when I was growing up, but when obviously like the likes of KSI and stuff were just starting and stuff like that, and it was just funny videos on the internet with probably not even a thought of making money from it really. But
Yeah.
now you've got obviously the Sidemen and Calfreezy with Chip and the Fellas and stuff like that. They are big businesses with, I don't know how many members of staff the Fellas have got, but I think the Sidemen have got
Oh gosh, like 40, 50. Yeah.
So
Simon have more than that probably, to be honest. Yeah.
yeah, do you find it quite surreal how YouTube has gone that way in realistically a very, very short period of time since it started?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that really pushes it at the moment is how big like podcasts are getting. Like podcasts like video podcasts are just like the next craze, right? And they're constantly growing and that. And I think that's where Chip and Cal have found some real success. I always look back to when we were younger and we were watching them as we were growing up, and it's like such like a hindsight thing to like no one knew back then that like how big it was going to go. It was like a gamble, right? Whereas it is crazy how big it's gone. I think it will just keep going bigger because TV content is just dying out and everyone's converting YouTube content to TV content. So like on our videos, I think over 40% of our viewers watch on TV, which is more than people watch on phone and laptop, which is just crazy. So I think it's just going to keep going up and up and up. And people like Cow and Chip, especially Cow at the moment, we've got like a whole new audience because of the food content. So like there's so much audience out there, it's going to just keep growing. And it's he's probably numb to it these days, but it's pretty surreal seeing the numbers for sure. Especially considering I am one of those numbers.
Yeah.
So it's pretty mad for sure. Yeah.
Okay. We're nearly at the end. But I want to make it, as it's the first episode, I want to make a habit of finishing each episode with some quick fire questions.
Yeah, go for it, man. Yeah.
Nothing too strenuous.
Okay.
So number one.
Wait, do I have to answer these quick?
As quick as you can.
Okay.
So you go to camera.
Well, I use the A7S III, but I would love an FX3, Cal. I would love an FX3, Cal.
Make sure to tag him in or send him this clip or clip it up.
Yeah.
Is there a videographer or a content creator whose work you admire, like a lot?
Yes. Can I
Yes,
get his name right? Let me get his name right. Because I've got one. Right, let me find this. I refuse to continue this podcast until I find his name because this is. Let me go back into. If I go into my following list, I'll be able to find him.
Oh, was it you that did the, or was it the editor that did that? The Cal's posture.
It was the editor, yeah.
Okay.
A guy called Ben is our graphic like animator.
Yeah.
And yeah, he did do it. And I've never seen a clip go so viral so quickly over something so small like that. It was everywhere. I had so many people send me like memes of it and that. And everyone thought it was real. Everyone thought it was his actual neck. I mean, it's great for him and great for the video.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because it actually, brought a lot of attention to it. Oh my God, I'm going to find this. Otherwise it's going to drive me mental. I found him.
You got it.
He's called Andrew's Life. So Andrews underscore life. And it's this, you probably put him up on screen, but he creates like he creates YouTube videos. He's from America and he creates YouTube videos, but they're like insanely cinematically and creatively filmed. Like his transitions, his match cuts, the color grade's amazing, and I just love the way they look, and they're always about really like conscious, deep ideas about his life and what's going on in his head and that, and filmmaking. And he creates reels on Instagram from his content, and he was on like, I think I followed him when he was on like 3,000 followers, and he's now on 80K. He had one reel that went viral, and he gained like 20-30K off it, and then now. But I just love his stuff. He's really cool. So I definitely think people should check him out.
There we go. Nice plug for him there. Do you prefer shooting freehand or using a gimbal?
Freehand, 100%. I love having because you can lock in the strap around your neck, and it kind of acts as a gimbal anyway. I like lock my elbows in, and then like you can still get sort of like smooth movement.
Yeah, that's one of the oldest tricks in the book, really, isn't it? The strap. Go to editing software. I know you're a videographer as such, but
Premiere Pro. Yeah, all day, every day. Yeah.
Favorite thing about your job?
Favorite thing about my job is the travel. Oh, and I get free food. Every shoot we do, I get free food, so I get fed, which is always a bonus.
That's a big plus.
But the travel, seeing the world. I always wanted to see the world as for my job. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Are you much of a traveller anyway, just away from your job, or?
I do like to, when I can, get away, and I've done a couple of like solo holidays, go with my mates and that, so I love it, for sure.
And then your final quickfire question, just to round this up. Can you give me one creative, whether a videographer, photographer, or just a content creator, who should come onto this podcast?
Lewis Bowden. Get him on here. He's on his streaming TikTok grind at the moment, so I want to see him on here being grilled.
I'll get him on it for sure.
Although I don't know if people watching will want him on here, because who actually wants to listen to Lewis on another podcast?
It won't be on there for his football opinions, that's for sure.
No, don't ask him anything about Newcastle, for God's sake.
I won't get a word in edgewise, I'm assuming, anyway, if that's the case. There we go. Harry, thanks for joining me.
It's been no worries, man.
It.
All good, man.
So be sure to drop a comment, like, subscribe, follow us on socials, Instagram and TikTok at Captured Convos Pod, and we'll see you next time with a different guest. Thank you.
See you later.
When I look at the sun going down to the sky,